And I'm Josh. Yes, we do. We have a couple different shows that are going on in the Philadelphia area here.
Just talk, hang out. What's going on, Josh? How you doing?
Oh, man, hanging out. I just got back from Baltimore for an audition, Actor Life.
How was that?
My ego's destroyed, so welcome to Actor Life. That's, whether you do well or not, that's always a thing.
A room of full people that looked exactly like you.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, just like a bunch of 25-year-olds just standing in a room looking exactly the same.
Yeah, that's pretty much, for those of you who aren't, who don't go out to auditions or anything like that, or don't do a lot of theater stuff. It's extremely it's a stressful process. A lot of times you're in front of a bunch of people who look exactly like you, who can probably deliver lines the exact same way that you can a lot of times.
Was it something where you had like 30 seconds?
We basically did an improv for a thing, so we did like a bunch of improv for probably around 45 seconds. So, that in comparison to the 4-hour megabus ride to Baltimore, is also is always.
You feel like you really got to show your range in that 45 seconds. You got a big.
Yeah, really got to, it felt good. All that 4 hours of prepreparation really paid off.
I bet it did.
So that's always.
If you haven't guessed, Josh goes on more auditions than I do nowadays.
Well, that's because Kevin is a much better writer.
Oh, I got the self-esteem beat out of me. So it's gone now.
Yep, that's so 20s male actors. That's how we do here on We Went to the Zoo. But as we said, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we will.
It's very we'll talk about that.
This is our theater podcast radio show that we're just talking about theater. Josh is an actor. I'm an actor.
Yeah, we have a bunch of different things that we do throughout the community coming up here.
Yeah.
We actually live with a crazy cat who's running a new venue called Serify on 50th in Baltimore. They just had their soft open for the venue, which during the day is going to be a yoga and an ecstatic dance studio, and by night they do some theater now and then. On May 21st, they are having their inaugural theater, piece that we're gonna do there. It's a variety show. It's by the Gorilla Productions.
It's Gorilla
Theater.
Gorilla as in not
like as in ooh ha ha.
Yes.
Not like as in
actor.
Yes, exactly. So that place is pretty cool. You'll see some sketches that Kevin has written. I'm going to perform a little music there. Our good friend Nate Dawley is going to be starring as the mysterious masked man, and that's always super fun.
That's the plan, at least.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have some fun. Live theater. It's gonna be like the most live ever.
Nothing like it.
Ain't nothing like it. That's right.
What kind of shows are going to be here on? What real shows are we going on this week, Josh? Not our jibber jab.
Well, we do have a bunch of different things going on here. I know one of the big ones that have been I just saw was my personal favorite. The kids show is The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. And I'm always going to talk about this until it's done because it's funny.
It's the best book, and now they put it in theater.
What's better than that? It couldn't possibly be better than that. That's going to be going at the Arden Theater Company, and that's going to be It started on April 6th, and that's going until June 12th. So that's got a pretty nice long run. I imagine that's because who doesn't love the Stinky Cheese Man?
Stinky Cheese Man, a dream role I didn't even know I had.
That's good. I like that. Yeah. I like that. And then, there's a bunch of different productions going on as well. I know I was, what did I see over there? There was, White Guy on the Bus.
Wake up. On the
And
bus.
that's at Passage Theater Company. I don't know what that entails, but it sounds hilarious. And that's going to be May 5th.
Hilarious.
It sounds May 5th to May 22nd. We have Man of La Mancha, which I believe we had a friend over at our house the other day who was helping build a set for that.
He's doing the assistant tech director. He's supposed to be amazing. The set's supposed to be
I saw
cool.
pictures of it. It's pretty incredible, and that's over at Bristol.
Did you know,
Riverside Theater.
Josh, that there is a Pinky in the Brain episode where they do Man of La Mancha?
What?
Yeah. I brain Quixote, the rat of La Mancha.
Are you serious?
Oh, it's pretty amazing. Well, I mean, Pinky in the Brain, pretty brilliant.
I mean, I always thought that they were pretty fantastic.
Yeah, so throw in some,
Yeah.
fantastic musical theater into that equation with Pinky in the Brain, especially when it's a Man of La Mancha.
I was always happy with everything that the Animaniacs did. I thought whenever they made any kind of references to like musical theater or theater in general, I always thought it was really funny. So another show that we have going on here for Tennessee Williams fans, we have a lovely Sunday for Creve Coeur, excuse me, and that's going to be at the South Camden Theater Company, and that closes this weekend. And from what I understand, Kevin, you have a buddy who's in that?
I have a friend that's in that. You know what you should always learn from Tennessee Williams, Josh?
What is that? That people die, I'm guessing?
No, don't chew bottle caps.
Don't chew bottle caps? Is that a thing he
Tennessee
used to?
Williams used to chew bottle caps and then choked on one and died.
That's how he died?
Yeah,
He chewed on a bottle cap.
choked on it, died.
Choked on it and died.
Don't chew on bottle caps, bro.
I mean, lesson learned
I know.
for me.
That's
I mean,
what I'm telling you.
I'm not
now.
going to do that.
I'm trying to get you now. And get you early.
nip it in the bud.
Yeah. I don't want to see you go out that way. Okay? Learn from Tennessee.
a good
Everyone
friend.
should.
He's a good friend.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Also be named after a state.
I mean, there's that. You don't want to be named after a state.
Yeah. You ever made somebody named Pennsylvania?
No, I can't say I have.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because they all die from chewing on bottle caps. That's how it works now.
They're very good. So there's a bunch of different shows going on in the Philadelphia area. I mean, obviously, right now, I don't know for actors that are out there listening. As you know, there's a lot of auditions going on for Fringe Festival shows right now, so you should always be looking into that stuff.
Yes.
So if you want to look into any more upcoming shows that are going on in the Philly area, or if you want to look into some auditions that are going on and all that stuff, you go to Theater Philadelphia. Or my favorite thing to do is to tell people to go to letmegooglethatforyou.com. That's my favorite thing for people to do.
It's a great joke, guys.
It's going to run for I'm just going to go with it for a really
Josh
long time.
knows everyone listening is cracking up.
They're
at that
just
joke.
like, "Oh, Josh,
because they're like, oh
you're
man,
so funny."
Let me Google that.com. That's not a real website.
It is. It is. I believe it's LMG, TFY.
Why.com.
Yeah, I believe that's
It's
how
not,
it
it's
goes.
not an org. Not a
could be.
.gov.
I mean,
Okay, it's not a government. It should be.
.edu. It's actually
.edu.
.edu.
It's a great college.
Yeah. It's
Let me Google that for you. .edu.
Let me Google that for
where I
you.
Yeah,
as in
for
like
you.
university. Yeah.
That's where I got my associate's degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me Google that
In
for you.
cluelessness.
In cluelessness. Yeah. It's working out as well as my theater degree. So, I mean, pretty much even Steven. Those pieces of paper that I have, they are about the same.
Hey, man, there you go. So we have a...
What are we talking about today? What's the show?
Well, I'm very excited. So we are talking about the Scottish play.
Oh, he's not going to say it. I was going to say
I know. I actually... Okay.
We're not in the theater, Josh. It's fine.
Let me tell you a story.
Okay,
I like without even thinking, I was in a theater the other week.
Weird.
And I said Macbeth, and I got very close to saying the entire word. And we'll ask Ryan. We have our guest today, Ryan Rebel, who's directing the show. And I'll ask him a little bit later on how far is like actually saying the word Macbeth, in a theater, like what starts the curse. We'll find out.
See, I personally don't care at all.
You don't believe in the curse?
No. Macbeth.
I mean,
Well, we're also not in a theater. I mean, we might be cursing this radio station. But I think we'll be okay about it.
yeah. I mean, if anything, our careers will just plummet.
See,
That whole thing.
we had at my theater in college, we had a chair upstairs that was specifically saved for Banquo,
Okay.
the ghost in
Yes.
Macbeth.
Yes. Yeah.
And so if you sat in that, you were cursed.
Okay. So
And
that's
it legit, it hit people. Like, people sat in that and bad things happened to them. Like, people that thought they had hubris. They're like, oh, it's fine. I can sit in this chair. It doesn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kid got kicked out of college.
he got kicked
True
out of
story.
college.
This kid.
What did he do? That's what I want to know.
Well, a lot of things that you're not supposed to do in college.
So maybe it was just the fact that he was
no.
also
He
just
was
in general an
a
idiot.
Terrible, terrible person. But you know what? He got kicked out of college, and he sat in that chair, and I was there. And I told him, don't sit in that chair, because he wasn't part of the theater department. I said, don't do it. That is our chair.
Don't you sit in that chair, Jeremiah?
Don't you do it. And you know what? Kicked out of the college.
Kicked out of college.
He learned that lesson.
It was the chair, man.
So, I mean, that's why I have profound respect for Ghost and for Banquo.
Ghost, like
But-
the musical. Your big musical, big Ghost,
Ghost,
the
the
musical.
musical?
Yeah, Patrick Swayze movie. Yeah,
Oh,
Patrick
oh,
Swayze,
they
Whoopi
made-
Goldberg.
oh,
they made a
okay,
musical.
okay.
I mean,
There's
this is something we could rant
there's
about
also
forever.
a play called Ghosts.
Oh, okay.
Which I was in, which is why I was confused by you saying that. But I have deep respect for Ghost. Don't care about curses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Don't
Okay,
mess-
well,
don't mess with spirits.
and this will be I have a feeling this will be a very spirited debate.
Oh, yeah?
When we,
Oh, yeah?
you like
Is
that
it
one?
gonna be? I did.
So when we get back, we're going to talk to Ryan Rebel. We're going to talk about Macbeth, and we are also going to talk about some of the very interesting casting choices. I've personally never heard of a show that's had a female Macbeth.
Yeah.
And, not just the Lady Macbeth.
They all have
but,
a lady. Everyone
yes.
has a Lady Macbeth.
Everybody has one of those,
But
but
yeah.
I mean, we have a female Macbeth in the cast,
Yeah.
which is super cool
It's
and
definitely
interesting.
interesting. We're going to talk about that for sure.
For sure. So when we get back, we'll talk about that. We went to the zoo. And we'll definitely talk about
Yeah,
that
we
later.
will,
Yeah,
guys,
no
we
doubt.
will.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
We went all the way to the zoo, and then we came all the way back here, and now we're here.
Yeah.
A hopeless sense of crime in the city, poor education of our youth, and absence of the leadership necessary to combat these concerns leads to a community in crisis. The critical piece in all of this is finding solutions to your issues, my issues, our issues. Tune in to Stepping Into Tomorrow as we spotlight the various organizations and individuals who are on the front line to provide a better tomorrow, and as well highlighting how the arts plays its role, showing that music can be a part of the larger movement. Join the community conversation with me, Gabriel Bryant, host of Stepping Into Tomorrow, the Sankofa Experience, each week live on G-Town Radio, the sound from Germantown.
Hear Stepping Into Tomorrow every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m.
And we're back.
We're back. We went to the zoo.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
We're on G-Town Radio. I'm still Kevin Fennell.
I'm still Josh.
And yeah.
So we're here. We're here with Ryan Rebel, who is produced and directed the production of Macbeth over at Venice Island Theater. It's super excited. Thanks for coming on the show, Ryan. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This is kind of fun for me. My dad works in radio, so I kind of grew up around
Oh,
this
no kidding.
Nice.
culture. So
Nice.
it's
That's
pretty
You have
fun.
more experience than we do.
There you go. So let's get right into it. So
Macbeth, what made you want to do it? What made you do this place? When did it all come about? What not?
Great questions. I actually work at Venice Island as just like a freelance stagehand.
Oh, great.
And the idea for this show and for the company came from my bosses there. They're like, hey, everyone who works here as a stagehand, we should kind of band together, start a theater company, get more like locally created theater in the area, take maximum advantage of our space.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the idea that they actually came up with, not me, was to do Macbeth.
Okay.
And they brought this to me. They're like, would you have any interest in directing it? I said, sure. Let me think about it for a while. and I spent some time with the script.
Absolutely.
Did you make your own cut?
I did. I made my own cut. I actually hadn't read Macbeth since high school, and I had a very unpleasant experience with it in high school, purely because of the English teacher,
Yeah.
which happens.
Which is common, yeah.
Yeah, we have these like bad associations that we keep with us. So I was like, Macbeth, okay. But I was reading through it, and I became fascinated with it again because it's such a pure. I think it's Shakespeare's purest tragedy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people dying in that bad boy.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
In a very efficient way.
Oh,
yeah.
Cuts them down.
Dispatched.
Yeah. Introduce a guy. Don't get used to him. He's not staying.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's the shortest tragedy, and it's lean and mean. It just all the characters just feed into this just central concept of just greed and lust for power.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's super dark in the way that everyone is conniving, and everyone's planning, and
Yeah.
oh, it's fantastic. It's wonderfully written. I mean, it's Shakespeare. What else can you
That's
say?
kind of like that's a template that you see in a lot of even just like your modern like slasher horror movies and things like that. Now it's just like nobody's ever completely likable, and and a lot of that kind of stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you see a ton of Macbeth in contemporary dramas like House of Cards. House of Cards is basically
absolutely.
Macbeth with political overlay.
Absolutely.
A little less ghosts. In House of Cards. Not as many.
Oh,
I mean, unless you count Robin Wright's sex appeal, but never mind. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
But
I went there.
It's interesting that you talk about in high school with English teachers, and a lot of people have like issues with Shakespeare because they were forced to do it in high school. Everyone was reading aloud.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that's a kind of thing that you look back at and it kind of bums you out that you didn't enjoy it as much now that you have this time?
Absolutely, but like more so than that, I would say it bums me out that there are tons of people in the world who have this conception of Shakespeare as a boring writer, as a kind of like a fancy pants writer who's like above me and beyond me. Because that's the opposite of what he was. He was a populist. He had all kinds of crude sex jokes. He played to the audience. He was engaging and relevant and all these things. And I think it's kind of based on how he's presented in high schools is a lot of the reason that people are turned off and avoid Shakespeare.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what did you come away with after you reread the script?
I came away with the basic concept, which is that this is set in a contemporary corporate business world.
Okay.
Which is not
Getting
something.
away from Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's not something I brought into reading the script, but it became the thing that became clear to me first was how eerily similar this hierarchical monarchy in the play is to our kind of contemporary capitalist corporate structure.
Sure.
Very, yeah. That's
So
cool.
you're ditching Scotland.
Yeah, we're ditching Scotland. I would say that our concept is fairly American.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool.
That sounds awesome.
So I'm getting imagery of like kind of your American Psycho kind of vibe almost kind of thing, and that like that high finance like Wall Street kind of world. That's immediately what came to mind when you said that.
I'm so glad that you said that because I actually screened American Psycho for our cast for one of the rehearsals. So you're right.
yeah?
You're right on point. Yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, not many films, capture that American greed and like that kind of thing as that movie. I mean, but that's interesting that's the way to go with it. I love seeing Shakespeare being like adapted in different styles and stuff like that. That's always so cool. Now, so adaptations. Speaking of adaptations, so tell me about how you got in contact with your actor who's playing Macbeth. I mean, this is
we did tease that earlier that we have a female Macbeth.
That is super cool. I love having like almost like a gender blind casting and that kind of thing.
And did you go into casting that way, or was it just the best actor for the best part, the best actor for the part, that kind of thing? Was it just reading?
Yeah, so we had an open casting call, and the language that we used was we're casting non-traditionally. Because there's the established language of like gender blind, race blind. I don't exactly like that because it assumes that like we're gonna pretend that you're not a woman, or like so that we're not blind to it. It's just we're not limiting our conception of this world to what it is as written. And I think especially with coming in with like this corporate idea, moving it into the present, there are fewer and fewer reasons to keep the gender of the original play as it is.
We're here now. It's 2016. Yeah.
Yeah.
What could, anybody can be a shark. Anybody can be a shark now. It's great.
Is that a quote from something? I mean,
No,
sorry,
that's Josh Brolin right
I
there.
honestly
baby.
thought he was going West Side Story there. To be
No, I mean,
okay.
anyone can be a shark, anyone can be a jet. You don't have to be Puerto Rican, that kind of thing. But I don't think that's what he meant at all.
Sorry,
Not at all.
I got hung up on it because I couldn't get anywhere beyond just like Finding Nemo, Jaws. Like, what do you like? Anybody could play a shark on TV. I guess that's true.
But anybody
was like shark in a business sense.
Yeah, in the business world, we're not living in Mad Men times anymore.
Yeah.
It's
It's not just dudes in charge of business, and it shouldn't be just dudes in charge of business.
Please, for the love of God, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty sick. So tell us about the actor you have playing Macbeth then.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Her name is Caitlin Collins. She, like everybody else in the cast, just came out for our open casting call.
Very cool.
You were talking about auditioning earlier.
Oh, yeah,
the
baby.
kind of a nightmare of standing in front of 20 versions of yourself and like seeing that funhouse mirror. This was very much not like that. We just put out the casting call and we got around 40 very different people showing up, which
those are always cool. I love those kinds of auditions.
Yeah.
Even then, you're just seeing different interpretations, and it's cool.
Yeah, they were fun, and also just so fun to see. I mean, we started off by just like playing theater games and stuff, and then at callbacks we got into sides, and it's fun to see how different people took different adjustments and all that.
Nice.
And we kind of whittled it down to a cast of 12, and I cast people without giving them their rules yet. So we just had a general ensemble going into table reads and stuff. And a little bit down the line is when they settled into their roles. So I'd spend a good amount of time with these people before dropping them into roles, which I appreciate their patience because it's very helpful to me as a director to kind of get more of a sense of people's pacing and style.
That's super cool. I can't say that I can't say that myself as an actor I've ever been in an experience like that where you basically put together a small troupe and then you start going with the actual show. That's super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I picked up in kind of like the weird theater that I did in college, and I think there's no reason not to continue it.
Nice.
It's a system that appeals to me because I think about theater generally in terms of ensemble rather than it would be easy with Macbeth to think about, okay, you get your lead and then everyone else kind of falls into place.
Right. Yeah. It commonly happens. Yeah.
But yeah, like Caitlin, there were a few candidates for Macbeth in my mind, but Caitlin kind of immediately stood out. Just she has an immediate presence. She's capable of a severity of mannerism that I associate with Macbeth,
Right.
And also just like a hint of vulnerability that can keep the character human, and so all those qualities just lined up with the character so much more than just simple masculinity would.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome.
And so, since it's modern times, how are you doing with killing? Are you doing knife fights? Are you guns? That kind of stuff?
Great question.
Yeah.
Knife fights.
Yeah,
everybody.
Nice.
So the
Everybody's
deal
got
is
a butterfly. That'd be awesome.
Everyone has like a hip knife holster.
Yeah.
They carry around. So the deal is this is a contemporary corporate business world, but it's not exactly our world because that doesn't make sense.
No.
Business folks don't go around stabbing each other
Or
all the
speaking-
time.
Or speaking iambic pentameter.
Or speaking iambic pentameter, right? So from day one, the thing that I would say to everyone is, not only are we bringing, Macbeth into the corporate world, but we're bringing the corporate world into Macbeth. It goes both ways. So we're using this company as an overlay, but also we get to create a world in which high class power business folks are going to rival companies and killing them with knives. That's part of like an aggressive merger.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty aggressive as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very Games of Thrones-y.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Game of Thrones. Yeah. Very cool.
And so, like at the beginning of the show, Macbeth and Banquo are returning from having a physical fight with rival business people.
The toughest business meeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
You won't believe
Well,
the
I mean-
meeting we had with Unisys today.
Sets down his
God.
his briefcase. It's just
I had to stab that one guy right in the throat. He just wouldn't listen.
We call them cutthroat business people.
Yeah.
Like that's already in the language.
That's the thing. That's great.
That's very good.
And we'll bring this up. Where is the? It's in Manayunk, but where is the theater?
Yeah, the Venice Island Performing Arts Center is a pretty new venue.
Yeah.
About a year and a half old.
I've been hearing a lot about stuff
Yeah.
that's been going on there all the time.
Yeah, we get like a ton of shows just kind of rolling through, dance shows, comedians, a lot of theater, musicals, just motivational speakers, like pretty much anything you could imagine. And it's a combination theater and Philadelphia Recreation Center, which is interesting. It's the first building of its kind in that way.
Very cool. That's that's neat. I mean, I always loved I love the Manayunk area. It's always a fun time. That whole like little stretch there, and I remember my first time going to Manayunk. I went and saw Good Old War on Record Store Day. That's like big Manayunk band. Manayunk's very cool. I think it's I think a lot of times I feel like I need to get out there more often. I just being like a West Philadelphia guy, but but it's the theater is super cool. I have a couple of different friends who have some things that are going on there in a couple months. So I mean the place seems to be blowing up. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I think we're right at the cusp right around now because we've been trying to get word out for a while. It's kind of tucked away, and even local people don't know about it. It's kind of hidden on the river.
Best kept secret.
A best kept secret. Yeah. Well, we're trying not to keep it anymore. We're generous.
Well, we
Right,
have
right,
we have an internet radio show
Yeah,
that has maybe a dozen or 24 followers. So you know what? We're gonna help you out there.
Excellent.
We're gonna extend that reach. Have you always been a director? Is that kind of theater stuff you always did? Were you more into like tech stuff, acting?
I started off as an actor. Just all through high school, it was I fell into that social group, and that kind of got me through high school.
Yeah.
And
Weird.
After 5 or 6 plays, you actually start to really enjoy the craft of it.
yeah, right, exactly.
It's more than just like, oh man, these guys are nerds too.
Yeah.
Now it's more than that. You get to do like the arts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then like moving into college, it was an important I'm gonna like go out of my shell and go out for a play just to see what happens. And I got swept up in the theater community at Bryn Mawr College from there.
Oh,
Bryn
cool.
Mawr. I went to Rosemont, which is right by Bryn Mawr.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've mostly acted, but recently I've kind of been trying to diversify into directing, dramaturgy, writing, tech stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, if you're doing anything, if you want to do stuff, you always want to, not just be an actor. A lot of times, that's always, it's always good to expand and produce and direct and do all that kind of stuff. That's good, man.
You'll be more valuable. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
And I feel like when you expand yourself, then you can always understand, when you are acting in a show again, then you can always understand where those people are coming from. There's a lot of times where you'll see actors who like are literally just thinking about themselves, and they're not being a team player and stuff like that, and they've obviously never worked on a set before, or they've never directed a show or anything like that before. So it's always like, and I'm sure you've been how have you've been directing for a good bit now? Is that right?
I have, and this is a secret. I haven't actually directed a lot.
Man.
Yeah.
Don't tell my
Not a
actors
lot.
though.
Got it.
Because the secret to directing is appearing very confident.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
So I would just cripple. I would just crumble immediately. I would just die. There you go.
Josh, why is this block? I don't know. Please leave me alone. These questions are too hard. Just to act. Sorry.
Or maybe you would get like the 1,000-yard stare, like 3-4 people asking you questions, and you would just.
Yeah, I can just shut him
Shut
down,
down.
give him the stone stare.
Yeah.
Then maybe they'll just be, okay. I'll act now. I'll do a thing. I'll do it.
My professor had a director once, and he told us the story. He's like, he never said anything to us. We just went on stage, and he said, all I want is this to be an hour and 30 minutes. This has to be an hour. It has to be an hour and 30 minutes. Then the opening, they did all their stuff. The opening came. They came out. They did their stuff. He came down. He asked the stage manager how long it was. He said, an hour 29. And the guy goes, I nailed it, and walked out.
Wow.
He also might have added another word in the middle of it, but it was just one of my favorite stories that my professor told.
Best director
That was
ever.
his director.
Best director ever.
Most
there you go.
efficient, I guess.
Yeah.
He had one goal, and he succeeded in that goal.
Well, I think that, if you ever want to get into directing, I think the path from acting into directing is very valuable.
Oh, yeah, no
because
doubt.
If you just hop right into directing, it's very difficult to understand the process of the actors that you're working with.
Absolutely.
Because even general audiences, I think, have a very skewed understanding of what actors do, what the actor's craft is, what the work is that goes into it.
How do you memorize all of those lines?
Well, and, but you're onto something. It's like it's one thing to be able to manipulate yourself into like whatever into for a lack of poetry that goes into it. Being able to change yourself to apply it to a character. But it's another thing to be the person who's guiding an actor in their journey into their character. And Kevin and I have been in both shows where we've had great directors who have guided very well, and then there's also
Great directors.
It makes a huge difference. It's always like
Well, actors are so needy and so whiny as like a born trait that like.
Don't say that about yourselves. Come on. Come on.
Oh, this is just bold, honest truth here.
Yeah,
that
man.
like I can put that sometimes that directors who have never been actors, I can see how they could have much more issues just because they don't. It's more that they're thinking so largely. Globally and actors are so locally and so about themselves and being like, why doesn't he care that I've been sitting here for 2 hours and I haven't even got to say my 2 lines? This guy doesn't care about anything we're doing, and he's like, no, I have to do like 40 other things, bruh.
Yeah,
and like that's the thing that's like it's great to have directors that have been actors before.
Yeah, I would say like the number one rule for directing. You're nodding excitedly.
Yeah, no,
give it.
He knows exactly what you're going to say. Say it, Josh.
Yes. No, you're right. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I don't even have to say it. I think I'll just leave it at that.
You got to have been an actor. No, I think at some point. I think it's definitely good.
It's helpful.
I think the number one rule is just to listen.
Yeah,
listening, like being able to actually clear your mind of your own machinations for enough time to hear what an actor is struggling with, and to try to understand them as a person so that you can understand how their mind works and what would be helpful for them. That's super valuable because directors tend to give very unhelpful notes sometimes. Like there's nothing like that's the great thing about having experience as an actor is because you know that there's nothing less helpful than a note like do it again but with more energy.
Yeah. More energy. Act better.
More energy this time.
Could you like just oh man, I remember I've gotten a couple ones where it was just like some of the strangest, most abstract. There's there was one I remember at some point they were like, I don't like that you look. I just noticed that you look to the right more than you do the left. Could you look to the left a little bit more, just generally, like just look to the left whenever you're like kind of almost in like an aria kind of thing when you're off doing monologues and things like that. Could you just generally look to the left more? I was like, this makes absolutely. It's just hard. Yeah, but sometimes there's things where there's your own walls that you're hitting
Yeah.
of
Well,
yourself.
when
And it takes a great director to be able to show the actor the way around the wall.
Yeah.
You know?
If I was directing, when I directed, the few times I've directed or stage managed, I always gave them the same notes. Just do exactly the same. Just take all the suck out of it. That would just be
Ooh,
great for everybody.
man,
that would
you're-
just be great. Just do it the same way. Just take it
Everybody's
right
favorite
out.
director.
Right, because that's what they needed to be reminded
Yeah.
of in that moment.
Just take
Is
it
that
out.
I should suck less. That's
Yeah.
what they were waiting to hear. They're like, oh yeah, of course. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
I was a great director. Guys, let me tell you.
There was like a really good story that what was it? Naomi. I mean, to move on to film, there was Naomi Watts who was in a Woody Allen film at some point, and I forget, it was one with Josh Brolin as well. But I remember she apparently, like, they did, you only get like 1 or 2 takes with one of his films or something like that, and basically, like, this was like a 10-minute one-shot scene or something like that. And they stopped the tape after the 10 minutes or something like that, and Woody Allen said something like, he was like, "That was everything that was wrong with film," or something like that. "I'd like you to do it again." That was how he directed. So I mean, all the more important, and I mean, he's one to talk. I mean, So I mean, but there, so it is important to have a great director.
Yeah, the classic note of "You're bad, be better."
Yeah,
You're bad, be better.
Yeah.
That's simply a symptom of a director not doing the work that they should be doing.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Yeah, man, this guy understands. A good understanding director. We'll be back. We're talking to Ryan Rebel. We're
gonna
on
play some games when we get back.
We're on G-Town Radio, the
we are.
Germantown sound, and we went to the zoo, but we will talk about that later. We'll get to it.
Calm down,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Hi, kids. I'm Ed Feldman. I got me a radio show. It's on gtownradio.com, and it's on Monday through Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. It's called Morning Feed, and it's with me. Maybe you remember me. I used to fix stuff on television, and if you call up or write in, I'll still answer your questions about fixing stuff or building stuff. But mostly, I talk about, well, whatever comes to mind. Local news, regional news, national news, entertainment, sports, your life, my life, sex, footwear. It doesn't matter. You can call in, you can write in, you can be on the show if you're as interesting as I am, and maybe you are. Ed Feldman, Morning Feed, 9 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, G-Town Radio. You never heard anything like it. Or maybe you have and you just want to hear more of it, or you want to hear it with, well, me.
We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, I mean, we've been to zoo, but we'll talk about that later.
I'm still Kevin Fennell.
I'm still Josh, and we're here with Ryan Rebel.
Ryan Rebel.
Hey.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And we're going to play some games. Ryan probably doesn't know this, but we play games here.
And the winner, there's a couple we're playing for some audience members. For some
We
of
have
you
listeners that have liked our Facebook page, and you should do that if you're listening right now, or if
You
you know
should like
anyone that
us.
likes theater. Like our Facebook page at We Went to the Zoo.
Yes, and that's going to be on Facebook. You just search "We Went to the Zoo," or if you ever want to email us or anything, get on an email list. We're at wewenttothezoo@gmail.com.
That's a fact. And so, Ryan, you're going to play for a listener.
Oh boy.
So-
So that means that I could let someone down.
You could let somebody
All
down.
right.
It happens. People get let down all the time.
That's true.
Life is full of disappointments.
Well, you're making me feel better.
Yeah, I mean, we want you to feel good. We want you.
We're uplifting.
We
We're,
want
you
you
know.
to have some confidence going into this game.
All right.
Yeah.
Cue it right up. My
Yeah.
confidence is at a peak.
Well, we're hoping we can cue it up. So right now, the game today is going to be. We try to do Shakespeare games as much as possible. So Josh is finding a Shakespearean play, and then you and I are going to go back and forth naming characters
Oh God.
Who
until
can
one
name
of
the
us
most
until one
characters?
of us runs out.
See, this is going to be embarrassing. You're going to call me out for
not knowing
yeah,
Shakespeare.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Well, see,
We're trying to
It's
do
not
popular.
Macbeth, so
Yeah, it's not Macbeth.
It's not Macbeth because you'd school him.
Well, I mean, I hope
Well,
you
I
know
mean-
most of the characters in Macbeth, being that you're directing it right now.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but we're not doing that one. We are
We're not
doing
doing-
another well-known
Yeah,
show.
we're doing a well-known
We're
one.
doing a. We're
God, I
doing.
hope it's well known.
Let's. It's
I'm
pretty
worried.
well.
I'm nervous as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how long you guys can go for Much Ado About Nothing.
Okay.
Okay. And this first game is going to be played for Ryan. Pick your favorite number in between 1 and 112.
81.
81. We are playing for Malia Forelli, who is actually from what I'm looking here, she's actually living in North Carolina. So if she ever wants to come to Philadelphia in the next week or so, she's very welcome to. So this once again, we're gonna have a Shakespeare off. As far as characters. Shakespeare off. So basically, we're gonna start with Ryan, and you can name your first character from Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh boy. You may have already stumped
gonna be
me.
a tough
This is
game.
Tell you
so
what,
embarrassing.
this might be
This is
a
so
tough
embarrassing.
game.
I can pick a different play also.
Yeah.
I could also pick
if
a
you want
different
to go
play.
different.
Oh, boy.
It's like a volley. It's kind of like the volley in ping pong. You know what I mean?
There has to be one wrangling around in my head somewhere. Beatrice, is that right?
Beatrice is
Beatrice,
definitely
you
one.
got Beatrice. Okay, yeah, very good, very good. Okay,
So
we got Beatrice.
I would say Dogberry.
Dogberry. Hold on, is
Dogberry.
this the right? That's the right show? Am I thinking? is
I'm
that-
positive.
Oh yeah. Okay, yep. Dogberry. Yep. mhm, that's
Michael
right.
Keaton.
Oh yeah, he was on to play Dogberry. Oh, I love Michael Keaton.
Me too.
Oh,
He's the
man,
best. He's my Batman.
Let's see. Let's
Dude,
any
you have any
other
more?
names here for Much
Sure, we
Ado?
go. Should we try a different game?
So like a H name, like a Hala.
There is. No, you're actually really close.
Halifax. I'm just gonna probably say I lost that there.
I thought you were going for hero.
Hero,
It was just
yeah.
hero.
Yeah.
Which is that's a pretty hilarious name, honestly.
It's pretty-
It's like I wonder
here?
what he plays in the.
It's a she.
Oh, she.
Yeah, that's the female lead. That's the other female lead.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh man. Well, I don't. You would
I
have.
can't
You
remember
would have
the
schooled
guy's
me.
name.
I would have known Beatrice. So
All right.
you know.
I can't remember
So
the
actually,
guy's
so for good measure, let's go with we'll go with a standby.
Yeah. What do you got, buddy?
And let's just see if we'll just go with you know what? Let's go with Romeo and Juliet off.
Oh,
Let's
man.
just do
we
it.
got two
Let's
names
just do it.
off the bat.
Okay. So
think
no,
we
once
can do
again
this one.
for the guest, we're gonna start. Ryan, you can give your first character.
Juliet.
Okay, there you
I
go.
guess I'm gonna have to go with Romeo.
Okay, there you go. Let's keep going with this, baby.
All right, wait. Let me get this one. This is what's his name? Mercutio.
Boom. Very good.
Benvolio.
Okay.
The other best friend.
Aw, I love Benvolio. He's the best.
Friar. What's his name? What's his name?
There-
Oh
yeah.
my god.
I'm gonna.
Benvolio. I may have already run out of this. Mercutio, Benvolio, and
I think that's gonna pass.
You're
It's
gonna
Friar John. It's
Friar John.
No,
Oh,
it's-
the
yeah,
most
it's-
generic.
okay, no,
name.
Yeah, it's
No,
the
no.
most. No, that's close enough. The Friar.
The
I mean, that's
Friar.
close enough. That's close enough.
All right, so then I will go with Tybalt.
Tybalt.
Tybalt,
Uh,
the Prince of Cats.
you know who played him in that '60s movie
in
of
the
it?
'60s? Oh, it's
The guy who plays Basil
Yeah,
in Austin
from Austin
Powers.
Powers,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Basil.
Yeah, Basil. He's so much more
Hello,
friendly.
Austin.
He's much more friendly as Basil.
Yes, yeah, he doesn't stab
No, he doesn't-
anybody
no.
in Austin Powers.
No stabbing.
All three movies.
Ryan, what do you got? And got anything there? Let's see. We got. There's a. I didn't really. There are a couple characters.
There's a lot of
There's
characters.
a bunch of them, right?
There's
Shakespeare was big on big part. A lot of names.
Yeah.
A lot of names.
There's a hint there for both of you.
Yeah?
That there are ladies of each family.
Well, there's Lady Capulet, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
technically a name.
That's a
a
name.
character.
I mean, that's a
That's a
character name.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Then I will go with the nurse.
The nurse.
Just-
okay.
just the nurse.
The nurse. That's actually that is her.
Good old name.
Is there also a Lady Montague?
Baba Booey. There you
Baba
go.
Booey.
Very good. Let's see.
Okay.
What else?
Then I can go with. Okay, so
Ooh.
Mercutio, Tybalt. Who else is gonna die? Oh, my favorite guy that dies, Paris
Oh, yep. Yep, that's
Got
right.
it. Nobody ever puts into the actual play the dying.
Really? They never, like, people
cut
write
that
them out?
scene. People cut that scene all the time because nobody wants to see Romeo kill somebody right before he goes to Juliet. Because he's supposed to before he breaks into the crypt. Paris is like, "No, you stay away from my wife." And Romeo's like, "Who are you again?" And then and he stabs him. Gets him
Oh, God.
good. See, you would have loved to see Paul Rudd get stabbed.
What? Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd's Paris in the Romeo plus Juliet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No good. Huh.
Yeah, he dresses like an astronaut. That's adorbs.
Let's see. Anything else? Any other guys?
got any
here?
more?
Yeah, the last one I had a chance at was Romeo's initial love interest. Remember, he starts the play loving somebody else.
She's not even in it.
But she's not in it.
She's not even
and
in it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, let's see.
So I think I'm fresh out.
That is okay.
It's
That's
Rosalind.
That's completely fine. Unfortunately, Malia, you won't be able to
bummer.
drive up from North Carolina
Sorry
to
about that.
Philadelphia.
It's okay. We got
Sorry.
backup games.
You
For
know,
more people to win.
We have plenty of games to
Yeah.
play here. So that was fun. I think you both would still just destroy me in any Shakespeare off of any kind.
Shakespeare.
I mean, Kevin's
Love
he's-
Shakespeare.
He loves him some Shakespeare. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about that. So the next game that we are going to play. This is one that we play a lot. This one is called How Many Shows Did It Run? And we have a lot of very well-known shows, and we have a list of the original production's amount of actual performances they ran. That includes matinees. That includes
But it's only Broadway.
only on Broadway though.
Because supposedly that's all that matters.
Yep. Apparently, the actors there, their emotions, cause the weather patterns. So, so this one's once again, how many shows did it run? If you guess within 100,
Over or under.
over or under, absolute 100 distance from the amount of shows that it ran, then you win.
Yep.
Pick
we need
another number there, Ryan.
I'm gonna go with
We
30.
wanted 107. You can go all the way up to 107.
30.
Oh, 30?
Absolutely.
30. So we
Just
are
30.
playing for Alex Sawyer. We are playing for
Sure.
Alexandra Sawyer.
All right.
Who
See how that
is a
goes.
Philadelphian.
Awesome.
So we
Go
will.
see Macbeth when you win these tickets.
Yes. Oh, and actually, I think she's a voice actor. Look at that.
Hey.
What do you know? Okay. Very cool.
Hey.
Well then, let's
Okay.
see.
Here's
So
the first one.
The first one is. Where is this now? It's I believe the first one was Mamma Mia.
So that's now I just tell you a number. I know.
Oh, yeah,
Mamma
just
Mia,
name it.
yes,
Pick a
Mamma
number.
Mia.
Mamma Mia.
If you had to guess, how many shows do you think
secret.
Mamma Mia original production, which I think blurs into many other productions, so this might be a tough initial
How big are you
one.
with ABBA? Like, real good.
I'm gonna say 601.
601 performances. I'm gonna say this one is pretty surprising because I thought it would have been a lot of different productions, but it's one of the longest running ones
Super
in history,
long.
I guess.
What do
As
we
far
got?
as you're not gonna believe this. It's 5,773.
You're
It's
kidding.
ridiculous.
You're only off by 5,000.
And this is
That's
this
like
is the same
nothing.
cast. Doing,
No, I think it's just the same production.
It's like
So
the
they
same
run.
consecutive production that ran on Broadway.
Yeah.
So I
I
think
see.
which is just it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they switch out. They switch out actresses.
They had to.
They
If
have-
I would,
mean,
I would think so.
That'd be so rude.
Could one person do 5,700?
No way.
shows.
I mean,
of the
you
same
know,
show.
Beetlejuice maybe, but he won't do two.
Just don't.
He won't do it. He won't do it.
Don't say it 2 more times.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Or, I mean, you can say
Don't-
Macbeth
don't
3 times.
do it.
You can't say
Don't say it.
the other one.
Yeah.
But but okay. So the second one that we have here, another big hitter, was Hairspray, the musical on Broadway. Now this one's not as much as Mamma Mia, but it is still it's pretty big hitter.
It ran for a while.
It ran for a good bit.
Well, I guess I'll go around 2,700.
27.
That's right on. That's right on. That's right on. That was actually it's actually 2,742.
2,742.
Yeah, I won something.
Yeah.
You win.
No, yeah,
Hey.
absolutely. No, this
Hey,
is fantastic.
you nailed it.
Ah, so Alexander Sawyer, you are
win.
you win. You get
tickets.
we're getting 2 tickets over to see the Scottish play,
Scottish play.
over at Venice Island.
I don't know why you're yelling at us.
I'm
You're
very
very
excited.
excited.
We're
I'm
all
very
excited.
excited. I'm
This
so
is a time
happy.
for yelling.
But you're
yeah.
more excited than he is.
I
He
mean,
got
I-
it right.
I just showed it in a different way.
Josh
Yeah.
didn't even do anything.
That was yeah. I just was I was very happy for everybody.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
internally pleased.
Oh,
Yeah.
you should
like it.
see, guys. He's
Yeah.
ecstatic right now.
It's there's the ecstasy. Oh, the ecstasy.
calm down.
But so okay, so
We got a winner.
yeah,
got
we
two
do have a
tickets.
winner. So Alex, whenever you want to come and hit us up, email us or we'll email you and we'll get the tickets to you. That'll be fantastic. So we are moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Ryan,
We'll
pick
see.
a number in between 1 and 107.
We get one more.
105.
105. I like it. Okay, let's see. Okay. Actually, I know this guy. Actually, he's an
Okay.
actor as well. We're playing for Jedediah Franklin out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
It's weird that we know the people
Jedediah.
that liked our Facebook page.
No, I know. No, I actually no. I just saw this guy. I was like, oh, I just he's actually a pretty good actor. He's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, for Jed, we're gonna be playing for him. We are going with okay. It's a little bit of a change of pace. It's not it's not like a crazy big hitter, but it's been redone many times. And that's Xanadu.
Xanadu.
So are we talking the original run? You
The
said?
original run.
run
Right.
of Xanadu.
Yeah, which
The ELO musical. But none of the good ELO songs.
a little bit of an editorial there. I'm
Oh, I'm
just
sorry. Well, you go from ABBA, which has like all of their hits, and you go to Xanadu. But Xanadu was a concept album and it was originally
True.
written.
Very true.
Was ABBA's? Mamma Mia is a jukebox musical.
ELO just put out another album recently.
ELO's magical.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half ago or
They're
something
a
like
great
that.
band.
Yeah.
All right.
But,
hit us.
so Xanadu.
970.
970. What do you got, Joshy?
Where it's close, but not that close. We were actually it's actually
It's so not that close.
it's close, but not that close. But it was surprisingly less than you'd think. It only ran 513 performances.
Yeah.
And then finally we have one more that we're going to be playing for Jed, and that is for Spamalot. And this one's there's quite a few shows for this one actually.
Spamalot. Let's
the Monty Python musical.
go with 1950.
1950.
Once again close, but
He's
it's
such a great job of laying you down. He
Well,
said.
Once again, close.
I believe he said it was close when it was 5,000 off.
yeah.
No, I did not say that. I did not say that.
So
it was close.
close.
No, I did not. No, it was actually so. It was 1575. It was 1570. Tim Curry was the guy who played King Arthur in the original production.
Did know that.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that. That would
Yeah.
be fantastic.
Tim Curry's a good guy.
So,
Yeah.
geez,
We got
wow.
good news and bad news for
Oh,
everybody.
Is the hour's up?
The good, news, the good
already.
news is that some people won some tickets.
Yes.
Or one person won
Alex
some
Sawyer.
tickets.
Yes,
Sawyer won
Alex
some tickets.
Sawyer. You won some tickets.
And
It's
then
fantastic.
The bad news is this is the end of our show.
And we didn't get to talk about the zoo.
Grumble,
Man,
grumble,
grumble,
grumble.
We didn't get to talk about the zoo. However, we did get to talk to Ryan Rebel
Yeah.
about his production of Macbeth that's going on at Venice Island Theater. When's it going on, Ryan?
May 19th through 22nd. 4 shows, 8 o'clock.
4 shows, 8 o'clock. One fantastic weekend. You got to go see it.
Check it out.
I'm
on-
super psyched.
Look it up on Facebook. Look it up on the Googles.
You can find us at shoeboxcompany.org.
Shoeboxcompany.org. That's fantastic, man. So we and
You can check us out at We Went to the Zoo on Facebook. You can email us at wewenttothezoo@gmail.com.
Yes, and we'll get to the zoo. We'll get to it.
It'll happen.
It'll
okay?
definitely. I mean, like no doubt. I mean, we'll talk about it sometime. But
And
you know.
so Till next time, guys. I'm Kevin Fennell.
And I'm Josh Kerwin. And we are very happy to talk to you. But we'll talk to you some other time.